Good evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often imitate, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And going over Raw this week, it's the Fallout Raw from the Royal Rumble, and it is in the ThunderDome. And this one was kind of weird. I mean, it had its high spots, but I was scratching my head like, what the fuck? On it. Alright, so, before we get into that, gotta address one big piece of news that occurred over the course of last week, since after last week's show. Butch Reed did pass. Now, for some, he was a joke. Some may have thought of him as like a joke, modern day joke. You listen to like the Tony Schiavone podcast and all. Butch Reed invented the internet. Butch Reed knows a cure for cancer. Butch Reed invented Netflix. Shit like that, you know, or Butch Reed facts, that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, but in actual sense, Butch Reed, he was a hell of a man, you know. He worked in WCW with Ron Simmons. He had a short stint in WWE. He was really one of the guys that really did help lay the groundwork for a lot of people after him. He is going to be missed, and it is sad that he did pass. You know, no other way around that. And it's always hard talking about when certain performers from yesteryear or current pass, and, you know, it's never really easy to talk about when you hear someone go. That said, let's switch gears. We're going to talk about the Raw now. We're going to talk about, or before we get into Raw, we're going to switch gears, talk about last week's SmackDown via the SmackDown Rewind. And the big highlights from last week's SmackDown were Roman calling out Edge, insisting that Edge choose him to be his WrestleMania opponent. And Edge didn't show up until the end of the show, but Edge just sitting there, you know, Edge is over here playing chess while Roman's out here screaming and yelling, looking like he's playing checkers, and it's just like, and Edge, you forget, I'm the master manipulator. I am the ultimate opportunist. I will pick who I want, when I want, and not a minute sooner. And Roman just looking at him, acknowledge me. Say my name. Which, honestly, when Roman did that, I thought it was like a fucking Breaking Bad Heisenberg throwback. But not a bad thing. I absolutely fucking loved the show. Just felt it was a little too late. Felt it was a few years too late for the reference, but it was. But after he did that, Kevin Owens came out of nowhere, took out Uso, popped Roman with a stunner, and then yeah. So looks like they're extending the Owens-Roman Reigns feud, which I am all for. Other big highlights from last week's SmackDown, Bayley beat Ruby Riott because Billie Kay wound up running interference by accident. Cesaro beat Daniel Bryan. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler beat Chad Gable and Otis. The biggest takeaway from that was Ziggler and Roode now have new entrance music. Bianca Belair teased on who she was going to pick. She didn't make an official choice yet, though. And Big E, Sami Zayn, and Apollo Crews put on a hell of a damn good match for the Intercontinental title. And Big E still came out as your reigning defending Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. That said, now that we're done and we cleared that out of the way, let's get into this week's show. Raw starts out with Adam Pearce in the middle of the ring, which Again, I can't help but stress, can we just officially make Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce the WWE Commissioner? You know, just shades of Sergeant Slaughter or, you know, Gorilla Monsoon or Shawn Michaels, yeah, or even Commissioner Regal, just something like that. Just, you know, you don't have to put him on TV every week in an authority figure type way. Just make him an authority figure by name and put him out there when it's needed, like in this case. Adam Pearce comes out and introduces Shane McMahon to a big surprise, and woo, okay, Shane, goddamn, pal, was not expecting that. Shane comes out, and even Mr. Pearce, glad to see you. Now with that said, let's get into business, what we're here about. We're on the road to WrestleMania, but before we do that, we got to get to Elimination Chamber first. So we have decided we're going to have Drew McIntyre defend his WWE Championship in an Elimination Chamber match against 5 former WWE Champions. His opponents are The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Sheamus, which is a big surprise. Yep. You know, and honest to God, I honestly forgot the other 2. I cannot believe it. Folks, I'm not even going to hide that fact. I flat out forgot. AJ Styles was one of them. I just remembered that. I can't believe I forgot them all. Well, fuck. And Randy Orton was number 5. That's right. See? Let it not be said. I don't hide my botches on here. This is on what makes my show different from everyone else's. I don't hide when I fuck up. I openly admit, yeah, I fucked up. Wait, can we hide that part? No? Oh well. And that's another reason why. Because my cameraman and editor in the back, Wade, refuses to ever take out any of the fuck-ups. Because, you know, dude, close that browser out! God damn. We're working. Nasty fuck. Either way, after they do that, AJ Styles comes out. Mr. Pearce, I want to congratulate you on this beautiful, beautiful idea that you had. You know, Shane did like to say he wanted to give you credit for it. I would also. And, yep, between you and me, up until this point, I kind of thought maybe you were a little slow on the intake, you know? And not to worry though, I'm going to show you exactly why I am going to win the Elimination Chamber, so if you'd mind. And then, so now we get to the first match of the night, AJ Styles against Jeff Hardy. And Jeff leading at the start, you know, going good. It was a lot like their matches they were having in the summer, and then Jeff wound up leaping up over AJ in the back, over in the corner, landed a rough way, tweaked his knee, and AJ picked at that like a shark smelling blood and worked on that for the rest of the match, you know. And now, one thing I did like was, even what was on how Jeff was pretty much dictating the pace of the match. Now, while obviously when Jeff's knee went out, AJ was leading it, Jeff was still dictating the pace on it, and, you know, these two guys obviously worked with each other in the past in TNA, and we all know that. But, you know, it just, I just thought that was nice because I don't know about age or seniority or who has more tenure in the business itself between the two, and I can honestly care less. It's just, I don't know, to me, AJ Styles comes off as more of an elder statesman, as a guy who, even though he's in his 40s, he's like, he carries himself like he's a man that's been around for as long as The Undertaker, say. You know, he kind of just gives off that kind of persona to me, and that kind of attitude, and, you know, seeing him like, you lead the pace, you dictate it. I think that's kind of cool. Match came to an end though when Jeff wound up going for a swanton, missed completely. AJ capitalized, rolled over, and then next thing you know, hooked it in, got the calf killer hooked in, and then Jeff straight up tapped out. Didn't go tap immediately, which again, thing I absolutely love, and it's a huge pet peeve of mine, and I will die on this hill. Don't tap out the second the submission's locked in. Hold out for at least a good 2-5 seconds at the most. You know, give that false idea of hope, like, no way, I can hold out, oh fuck, this hurts too much, I give. That just, I don't know. Just, it gives more of a sense of realism instead of the second it's in and you're bending this way, you're like, I give. You know, you're like, I give, motherfucker. You know? Either way, next matchup we got New Day, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston making his return, going against T-Bar and Slapjack from Retribution, with Mustafa Ali on commentary the entire time, yelling at them, saying on how Retribution's hungry. New Day has had multiple times to have the tag titles. Kofi is a former world champion. Now Retribution wants their time to shine, and all I can sit there and think is, Ali had his chance at Money in the Bank a few years ago, and instead he was on the verge of grabbing the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then Brock Lesnar's music hit, his arms drop, and he just literally sat there on the ladder while Lesnar ran on down. So just really, you had your opportunity. You had your chance to sit at the table and eat, and instead you sat there and watched someone go and take seconds and steal from your plate. So don't go try making that argument when you got people throwing that shit back at you, son. That said, as far as the match went, you know, decent back and forth, you know. Decent back and forth on it. New Day was kind of leading for a small bit into the break. When they come back, Woods was the punching bag. Kofi got the hot tag in. They started working good. You know, it was a decent match. I really dug it. This was one of the high points of the show. Also, what was really cool to see, and you got to have a quick eye to notice it. I don't know if WWE put it up on their YouTube or not, but if they did, really cool. If not, find some way to scour around on the internet to look for it. When Kofi went to go and do his trust dive onto Retribution on the outside, when Woods lowered the rope, you could see when Kofi landed, his back wound up going against him like that, but when he landed, he had his arms out like this, looking at the cameraman like, hey, like that. It just like, hey, like, damn, the fucking cockiness on this motherfucker. I just, again, a split-second notice, thought that was really cool. Match came to an end when Woods wound up tagging in Kofi. They did their finish, Daybreak, which is Woods has them he had slap dick on his knee, and then Kofi came down off the top rope, double stomp right onto his chest, and then yeah, so that they did Daybreak on the slap dick, got the 1, 2, 3, that was it. Next up we got women's action. Whew, good Lord almighty, Lacey Evans against Charlotte, and before this match came to be, it was Ric Flair came out with Lacey, had the mic saying, you know, how he is now sick and tired of being Charlotte Flair's father. He understands she's got a legacy. He has his legacy. He wants to keep his legacy. He wants to still be there and all that. While Rick cut an extremely good promo, I couldn't help but feel, man, Rick, seriously, man. Listen, now I know you're in your 70s and all, and I'm not body shaming when I say this, but he did not look physically good at that point in time when he was out there cutting. He looked a little more... trying to think of the right way to say this. And again, I'm not saying this as an insult or body shaming or anything like that. He looked bloated. He looked like kind of like if somebody had like an allergic reaction to like some peanuts or some chocolate or something, you know, like all puffy. He looked really, he looked a little more, he looked bloated to me. You know, that's the best I can describe. Something like that. And I just like, listen, I love Ric Flair. I like seeing, I love seeing Ric Flair. The man literally is a walking, living legend. But my God, they're just, you know, pick and choose when to bring the elder statesman out, I should say. That said, Rick said, while Charlotte may be the queen, he found somebody who's got the physique, the talent, and the raw charisma to be the next superstar, and under his tutelage, he is going to train her. And then Charlotte came out and said, listen, you can go and do whatever you want, Dad, but in here, this is my business, and I need you to get the hell out of my business. And somehow they twisted it into if Lacey Evans wins this match against Charlotte, she gets a title shot against Asuka down the road. And so, on to this match now. Charlotte, yeah, her left shoulder got tweaked before the match started because it was a little brawl on the outside, and Lacey threw Charlotte into the stairs. And I really like both on a talent level, but just, my God, these two do not clash really well. You know, you got some talent who mesh really well together in the ring, and like, as an example, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. But these two just, they don't. It's like water and oil. Or more to the point, like seeing Undertaker and Heidenreich. Whew. Just, yeah, they don't clash really well. You know, Lacey led into the break, and for most of the match, yeah, not a very good one, I could say. Match came to an end via a DQ because Charlotte eventually started to go ballistic. Lacey was in the corner. She started throwing slugs at her. Ref pulled her off. And then Charlotte decked the ref, so then the ref called for the bell for hitting an official, which, you know, you just, ugh. And I didn't want to talk about this, but I feel like I got it because I got to address the elephant in the room when it comes to this match. The biggest thing that everyone was saying, what the fuck on, was at one point, Lacey, she was in a corner, Charlotte went to go for a running charge, and then, like that close before hitting Lacey, just stopped, and then there was like a 3-second pause before Lacey finally did wham! Just like, oh, damn. I could just imagine Vince yelling, God damn, ugh, what the, who booked that shit? What the fuck? Either way. Next matchup, we got Angel Garza going against Damian Priest, and Garza had Miz and Morrison down there with him, and Damian Priest had Bad Bunny, who, I'm not even gonna lie, again, I'm not big on pop culture, and I'm not that big on, I don't know, I'm proud, I can openly admit, I don't know what I don't know. And I don't know who this guy is. I don't know his music. Y'all want to tell me, hey, he's a top streamer on Spotify? Okay, cool. You want to tell me, oh, he's a big multi-platinum artist? Okay, cool. I don't know him. That's it. Plain and simple. I don't know him. If I ask who, I'm asking who because, honestly, I don't know who the hell this guy is. Now, if you would have told me they would have had Jerry Only at the show, I would have exploded. My head would have blown. If you would have told me you would have had Joan Jett or fucking, you know, Megadeth there, yeah, I would have known. Hell, you would have said you would have had Ivan Moody there. I'd be like, alright, cool, fucking A. Guarantee you're gonna have the same amount of people that are saying who to Bad Bunny as to, like, if you had somebody from, like, the rock era from that's in rock and roll or metal or something. But I digress. Garza had Miz and Morrison there because they were trying to goad Edge into saying, you know, who he's going to challenge for, and then Miz was saying he was going to cash in his Money in the Bank on him, and then Edge just pretty much put him in his place saying, you realize on how stupid you are, right? I'm the one that put Money in the Bank on the map. And I know when I win a title, I got a target on my back. And I got to have eyes all over. You, on the other hand, are stupid enough to tell me when you're going to do it. So I know when you're coming. And then, after that, then proceeded to Priest and Bunny came out. But either way, as far as the match went, Garza, he was leading at the start, and then Priest started to pick up some momentum. At one point, Bad Bunny, man, he did like a Eddie Guerrero type move, and this is honestly the best way I could describe it. He did like a little Eddie Guerrero type way to get Miz and Morrison banned from ringside before the finish of the match. And on how it was, he wound up going over, swatting Miz, or not swatting, picked up Miz's Money in the Bank briefcase, teased him like, I got your briefcase, I got your briefcase. Made him and Morrison chase him around, slid into the ring, dropped it, and then when Morrison picked it up, he had it up like this, and then it looked like he was had it cocked back to go and swing. And that's when the ref saw it, and he was like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. You, out. And which was way cool to see. I just thought that was cool, because I just thought, Eddie Guerrero would have fucking done that shit, man. You would have fucking worked somebody into getting themselves kicked away banned from ringside. That would have been fucking cool to see Eddie do. I'm pretty sure Eddie did at some point or another. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But match came to an end. Damian Priest wound up hitting the Reckoning on Garza. Got the 1, 2, 3. So yeah. Next matchup, we got Riddle going against Keith Lee, and okay, I am straight edge. I am straight edge. I do not drink, smoke, or do drugs, but honestly, I kind of feel some sympathy for the stoner community because they got fucking Matt Riddle representing them on a national television level. And I just can't help but think, man, fucking Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was a better representative for the stoner community. I mean, am I fucking wrong here on thinking that? Either way, as far as the match went, Lee was pretty much powering Riddle throughout the entire thing. You know, Riddle at one point had a triangle choke in. Lee had him slamming him down. It was pretty much like seeing King Kong trying to go against a 8-foot man, basically, and that was really on how it went. You had a kaiju going against a human, or a kaiju going against a gaijin, and yeah, did not go well. And Lee wound up getting the win, doing the spirit bomb, but immediately after that, Bobby Lashley came out, choke slammed Keith Lee, who's well over 300 plus, grabbed him, choke slammed him, beat the shit out of Riddle, and then proceeded to beat the shit out of Keith Lee, in which case, the way Bobby Lashley came out, it was just like rage, fucking rage. Bobby Lashley was letting out like anger issues he had from 3rd grade on these motherfuckers. Like, Bobby Peterson said I was stupid back in 3rd grade. Wham! I'll show him. Like, that kind of aggression. Next matchup, we got women's action. Nia Jax against Lana in a tables match. Not quite sure on how I could describe, not quite sure best way to describe this. Well, it's not Chernobyl level bad, but it's definitely not, it's definitely better than the Blitzkrieg, but it's just as ugly as the shit that happened in Washington. That's pretty much the best way I can describe this. Nia was powering over Lana, and then Nia wound up missing a leg drop on the ring apron, which led to the quote of the night, because as she's grabbing her tailbone, she's yelling, "Ow, my hole." The internet will forevermore have fun with that one small video clip. Match came to an end when, as Nia was complaining about her hole, Lana literally pushed and shoved her into a table that was propped up against the barricade. And now here was the thing that really got me. While all this was going on, before Nia Jax had her hole hurt, no, that joke's not going to go away anytime soon. It's really that funny. But Naomi came out with Lana, and Naomi's just sitting there ringside, watching, yelling, cheering on Lana, yelling at Nia, saying, "You're a bully, you're a bully." And you can hear Nia saying, "Shut up, Trin." You know, calling her Trinity, her real name. And all I could think is, you know, if Naomi really cared about Lana as much as she's supposed to, she'd say to hell with the rules and help her friend. Instead, she's just standing there ringside, letting her actual family, because Nia Jax is related to her via marriage, beat up on her best friend. Well, not best friend, but beat up on her friend. Yeah. That really don't, that just don't seem right. After the match, Naomi and then Shayna were getting ready to tussle, which then led to an impromptu match between them two. Had nice work between the two. Them two really seemed to hit it off pretty nice. You know, I'd really hope to see something with them two down the line, a little more down the line. Match came to an end when Naomi got a roll-up on Shayna after Shayna was outside, slapping the piss out of Lana, putting her in her place, saying, "You don't belong here, go where you belong, it's not this, that, and the other kind of stuff," belittling her. And just, again, roll-ups, man, roll-ups. Roll-ups feel so fucking lazy to me for an ending. Just, ugh. Hate a fucking roll-up for an ending. Anyways, now we come to main event of the night. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Nice back and forth at the start. Felt a little stiff just from my perspective watching. Jimmy wound up coming on out. Sheamus came out. And for those of you that always ask and wonder, why do I keep calling Sheamus Jimmy? It's because Sheamus is Gaelic for James. So there you go. Now you can't say you never learned nothing on this show. Next week I'll teach you. Next week I'll tell you on where to go to learn on how to build a hydrogen bomb. All you'd need is to acquire the hydrogen. Not really, folks. Don't report this shit. Anyways, as far as the match went, nice stiff back and forth, you know. And then Jimmy came out. Drew saw, was like, "Alright, yeah, I got you, you rat bastard. You want some? Come in here. And then Randy took over. Randy started leading after that in post-commercial break. Nice. These two, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, I can't stress enough how much these two actually go together really well. And these guys really do work together really well. I love them. I love seeing these two go to war with each other. I'm all for it. You know? Match came to an end when Drew was sizing Randy Orton up for a Claymore, wound up like having like a spidey sense go off on him, moved out of the way when Sheamus was going to pop him with a bro kick, clipped Randy Orton instead, so the ref threw the match out, which then led to Drew McIntyre, then popping Jimmy with a Claymore, and then then the show ended. So, personal prediction, and you could take it as armchair quarterbacking, armchair booking, guessing, whatever the hell you want to call it. Personal prediction, how I can see it going. If Edge does not pick McIntyre, we get Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus at WrestleMania. Or we get Randy Orton winning the title off of Drew McIntyre at Elimination Chamber, and then Randy Orton against The Fiend. And then McIntyre and Sheamus in a non-title at Mania. That's, again, personal speculation, personal prediction. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, please don't forget to like the channel. Go back. Again, fuck up. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Help spread the word on this. And, folks, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check out his music. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter as the Mulligan Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, and Sergeant Curry Pants. And, folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.